Hi, I'm Tanya Reyes. I'm a mother, I'm an advocate, I'm a national board certified teacher, I'm an agitator, organizer, and lactation education specialist. What got me through my labor with my first child was the enduring image of breastfeeding. Sure enough, my first daughter loved to nurse. When I returned to work, I pumped and nursed my baby on my unpaid break, and I did this happily for 2 months without a problem. Then one day, everything changed. Suddenly, I was banned from feeding my daughter on campus. My pay was docked. I was harassed, timed while pumping, and eventually I lost my job. I was blacklisted by LAUSD for almost 2 years. I was referred to BreastfeedLA, and they began to fiercely hold the light for me. They advocated for me against the massive general council of LAUSD. BreastfeedLA did not back down. They showed up. They breathed life into me when I wanted to give up. Together, we protected my breastfeeding relationship with my daughter, and in the end, we prevailed. And this was just the beginning of the story. Because of BreastfeedLA, I became a fierce breast chest feeding advocate. I started a class for LAUSD teachers so they know their benefits and lactation rights. I took BreastfeedLA's lactation educator course, and I am a lactation education specialist. I went to Sacramento and I advocated for paid family leave at our capital. In an ironic twist, I was able to secure a new dream position in LAUSD, where I work with pregnant and parenting teens. I transformed a classroom into a special place for parenting teens. We created a home away from home. Before this, my students had no place to pump. Now we have a comfortable chair, stool, pump, and a nursing section. I also have a drawer full of pumps that I can give to students. Our breastfeeding rates increased dramatically. When I first arrived, approximately 25% of our students were breastfeeding. That number is now 75%. This is not because of me, but it is because of informed mothers who were given options and support and whose choices were protected, just like BreastfeedLA did for me. I am humbled to be a part of my students' empowered journey. One of those students is Emely, who you'll hear from next. She is an incredible young mother and fellow breast chest feeding advocate. I had the honor of connecting with BreastfeedLA's lactation education program. I could uplift Emely because BreastfeedLA uplifted me.
My name is Emely de los Santos. I'm a breastfeeding mother to my 28-month-old son, Jairo, and I am a graduate of BreastfeedLA's lactation program. My breastfeeding journey didn't start off the way I had hoped. After I gave birth to my son in the hospital, a nurse told me that I wouldn't make enough milk because I was too young. When I tried to latch my son, she told me I had inverted nipples and squeezed my breast without permission. They told me I had to pump as much as a 2-ounce bottle of formula to prove that I could feed him. We ended up giving him a bottle just so we could go home. I was so emotional, exhausted, and so sad, but after lots of support, I was able to meet my goal of exclusively breastfeeding my son. I went to a high school for parenting teens, and I kind of became known as the one who breastfeeds because I was always talking about it. Tanya, who you just heard from, is a teacher, and we met helping a student with breastfeeding. Tanya saw my passion and interest and told me about BreastfeedLA's lactation educator course. They were offering scholarships for Black, Indigenous, people of color, and she encouraged me to apply. We learned that history, culture, and generational trauma matter, especially when we work with people of color. BreastfeedLA taught me about so much more than just lactation. It taught me about the importance of really listening to people and respecting their truth. I wish my nurses had respected me in the hospital, but now I can do that for others. I want to work with WIC and become a lactation consultant. I will continue to come back to the BreastfeedLA classes to educate and counsel young parents about infant feeding. I am turning my skill and passion for breastfeeding, chest feeding support into a career thanks to BreastfeedLA. Thank you.